summer.
After 2 years of designing and prototyping, we're ready to introduce the MrWhy, a waterproof drone that floats like a boat, can briefly submerge underwater, then flip back to fly in the air at over 40 miles per hour. It's a combination of a racing quad and a photography drone with a robust waterproof body, and yes, the first ever waterproof remote control. The waterproof remote control has a built-in monitor that allows you to watch the live video stream and on-screen display information. The MrWhy can also send its video signal to several monitors simultaneously, so you can share your flying experience with your friends on the spot. The MrWhy's 4K camera tilts up and down to always point in the right direction during flight or while floating. This allows you to see what's underwater. Another cool feature is the expansion port that allows future accessories to be attached on the bottom and enhance the MrWhy's capabilities. You can turn the GPS on and off from the remote control to fly freestyle, or activate its advanced flight features like Follow Me, Object Orbit, and Return to Remote Control Location, so that if you're on a moving boat, the MrWhy will always come to where you are. If you're more into robotic flying, you can use the MrWhy's app to set up waypoints on the map and fly a designated path completely hands-free. The MrWhy is compact and comes with everything you need to fly the moment you get it: the carrying case, battery, remote, and charger.
We're also doing something that we don't think has ever been done before. We're releasing a series of videos bringing you inside of the factories that make some of the components for the MrWhy, and also show you the working conditions of these factories, and also learn how LiPo batteries are made, propellers are made, and how the whole manufacturing process works.
We've spent years in the design stage to push the limits and redefine the capabilities of drones in general. The only thing that's missing to make the MrWhy a reality at an affordable price is you. By
这个就是我们斯威普的雨燕加无人机啊，这是它专门的一个收纳包，是个防水的一个收纳包。打开，这个就是斯威普雨燕加无人机啊，螺旋桨我已经装上了。 它螺旋桨特别锋利啊，硬度比较高。这个是它的一个相机，我们起飞前把这个相机保护膜给撕掉。好，放在平面地面。这个是它的遥控器，把它的天线给装上，2.4装这里面。重点说一下这个遥控器啊，这个遥控器还是比较实用的，上面有一个显示屏，可以显示我们无人机实时的一个画面，看到没？然后这里面还有 GPS 的格数啊，一些参数可以里面显示。这个是它的一个普通的一个飞行档位，然后我们往下拨到2-3秒，它可以执行它的一键返航。然后这边有调节摄像头的上下的，两边都有，可以进行调节。然后这个是它的跟随模式 ，F 是跟随模式，拨到最上面 GPS 模式，中间是它的一个环绕模式，最下方是它的一个姿态模式。姿态模式飞行的话，全部要手动去掌控。我们一般来说是以 GPS 模式去飞行。这两个是摇杆。 两个摇杆的话也是个防水的啊。我们准备解锁下电机，给它飞一下。先开遥控器，再开飞机，准备解锁电机。稳定性还是非常不错的啊。不动遥控器的话，基本上可以比较稳定的进行悬停了。我们往前飞一下，这边控制它的转弯的，这边前进、后退。哇，刹车要很长时间才可以刹得过来。左飞， 右飞，非常灵敏啊！来，我们往那边河道去飞，走嘞。现在的话，我们点击拍摄。思维部语言家它这个是一个模拟图传，模拟图传它的马赛克现象还是比较严重的啊，但是它的内存卡是可以保存4K 的一个照片的。来，我们往前飞，沿着河道环绕飞行一下。它这个是不带防抖云台的啊，可以享受 FPV 的一个感觉，操作手感还是挺不错的啊。今天暂时不下水，先熟悉一下。好，它已经回来了啊。咱们降落。好，现在我按了它的一个一键返航键，现在它在执行它的一键返航，执行降落了啊。返航的精准度也是挺不错的啊，安全返航了啊，还是比较好玩的啊。刚刚飞了是13分钟，现在提示地电量了，它1块电池，如果是极限飞的话，大概在15分钟左右。提示电量的话，它其实还是可以飞的，但是建议地电量就不要飞远了，为了安全起见。机起飞，暂时不下水，我们先熟悉一下，防止翻车。回来，好，我们现在触摸水面，走。准备，哇！前进，在水面可以当一个小游艇飞行啊！好，停转电机了，看能不能起飞啊？还可以飞啊！我们降到水面，哇！来，现在我们往前飞远一点，转圈，没问题。你不能下潜的太厉害，下潜的太厉害容易翻车。上升可以啊！它在水面简单的一个飞行还是可以的啊！后面，哇！回来。我们看一下它有没有进水。好，现在我们安全降落了啊！我们看一下啊，它只是机身上有点水，不过这个机身它是有防水一个涂层的，马上水它就滴干了，这边密封起来，它里面是没有进去的，还是可以正常飞行的，直接扔进去。好，现在我们看一下能不能解锁电机。哦，成功了，直接翻过来了啊！起飞！哇，很强啊！哇！
通过实际测试，语言家无人机翻倒在水面还是可以翻滚过来继续起飞。
我们在户外测试一下这款语言家无人机到底可以飞多远。解锁电机，起飞，往前飞。现在外面的风还挺大的啊，来，我们往前跑啊。我们今天试一下这个语言家到底可以飞多远。来，走你。我们先把飞机升高一点，升到大于80米，然后我们一直往前飞高，飞远啊，升高一点，它的信号传输理论上会更好一点。好，现在高度是86米啊，我们现在在这个高度往前飞远，现在出现了点马赛克现象，它的模拟图传会有这种比较严重的马赛克啊，但是它内存卡可以保存4K 的。好，我马上穿过这条大河了，好，已经突破300米，我们继续往前飞，把高度稍微再拉高一点。风好大呀！这款机的官方宣传最大的飞行距离是800米，我们看一下能不能突破啊？已经600米出现马赛克现象了。好，现在已经突破800米啊，高度117米。好的，已经突破1000米，我们看一下到底能飞多远，希望不要飞丢。马赛克现象现在特别严重了啊，我们看一下能不能干到1500。现在已经显示低电量了，执行它的一个低电量自动返航，拉了1200多米了。刚刚我们这个C股语言家飞了1200多米，好，电量现在不多了，提示低电量，正在执行返航，我们耐心等待一会儿。现在我们的飞机已经快回来了，我已经听到飞机的声音了。好，我们的飞机马上降落了啊！好，现在它已经安全降落。这款语言家官方宣传可以飞800米，但是我飞了1200米，还是比较满意的了。稍微飞远一点，然后拉高。好，现在我们极限拉高，这边是它的一个飞行高度，这边是它的一个飞行距离。现在我们在距离27米那个地方进行一个拉高，下方是一个大河，我们把摄像头往下调节一下。好，一直拉高，上面显示238米啊，然后现在又是237米。现在我的油门杆一直往上抬，但是它一直没动了啊。我旋转一下，旋转是没问题的，但是一直往上抬它不动了啊，相当于它已经不升高了。再往上抬一下，不升高了。我们关闭 GPS 试一下它的姿态模式能不能拉高，也是拉不了的啊。它的限制高度应该就在230米左右。切换成 GPS， 防止飞丢了。好，最终我们测试这款语言家无人机最大的飞行高度就是230米左右。 我实际测试这款语愿加无人机，最大飞行高度是238米，在 GPS 模式下以及在姿态模式下都是有限制高度的，都是在230米左右。我极限飞了238。
Welcome! This Swell Pro tutorial video will take you through the setup and first flight of the Spry Plus drone. Before your first flight, it's important to familiarize yourself with local laws and regulations. Read the user manual, charge all batteries, and insert an SD card into the drone if you want to record videos or photos. Swell Pro has other tutorials videos that can be found at swellpro.com. For safety, choose an open, outdoor environment without obstacles or people. Open the case and take out the aircraft, turn on the remote controller, and then the aircraft. Before your first flight, it's imperative to calibrate the aircraft. Check the manual for instructions or follow the link that appears on the screen to view the calibration video. After the calibration is complete, restart the Spry Plus. It may take a few minutes at first for the aircraft to lock on to the GPS signal. Once the controller indicates at least 8 satellites are detected, it will register its return home point. So now you're ready to take your first flight. Pull both joysticks simultaneously down and inwards and maintain this position for 1 second, and the motors will idle, ready for takeoff. Now, gently push the left joystick up and the Spry Plus will gradually rise. When you release the joystick, the aircraft will hover in position. The left joystick controls the aircraft ascent, descent, left turn, and right turn. The right joystick controls the aircraft movement forward, backward, left, and right. When landing the Spry Plus, try to land on an even surface. Slowly pull the left joystick down so that the aircraft lands smoothly and gradually. After landing, you can hold the left joystick down for 5 seconds to stop the motors. Alternatively, after the aircraft lands, simultaneously pull the left and right joysticks down and outwards, and the motors will stop. Before turning off the aircraft, remember to always switch the camera to preview mode to save any video being recorded, then turn off the aircraft and remote controller in turn. After flight, please care for your battery. Either allow it to cool and then recharge it for flight, or check that it's approximately at 11.1 volts to 11.6 volts charged before storage. The battery voltage of aircraft and remote control can be checked through the remote control screen. Remember, the user manuals are full of tips and helpful information. Thanks for watching. Welcome.
This Swell Pro tutorial video presents some precautions that you should take when you fly drones and specifically the Spry. For your safety and the safety of others, prepare for your flight by being aware of local laws and regulations. Check the condition of your drone carefully and read the operating manual thoroughly. You can also refer to our online instructional videos for more information. Before installing the waterproof cover, please make sure that there are no foreign objects on the mounting groove and the cover rubber ring. After installing the waterproof cover, check that the waterproof membrane is in good condition. If the flight will be over water and the waterproof membrane has been damaged, replace it before flight. Check that the remote controller's waterproof joystick and switch covers are also in good condition. Ensure that the remote controller's USB cover is properly pushed in and sealed. When turning on the remote controller, check that the current flight mode matches the conditions. GPS mode is usually recommended. Before turning on the drone, turn on the remote controller. Likewise, when powering off, switch the camera to preview to finalize any recording, then turn off the aircraft and then the remote controller. Each time the flight location is changed by more than 100 kilometers or the aircraft is subjected to large vibrations, the accelerometer or gyroscope and compass need to be recalibrated. See our separate video for details of how to properly calibrate your aircraft. When you need to restart the aircraft, please leave the Spry off for at least 3 seconds before restarting it. To ensure sufficient power and accurate return, please check the battery power and GPS signal of the aircraft and remote controller before every flight. For best results, fly with at least 14 GPS satellites. The Spry remote controller also has a built-in GPS module. The remote controller power button will glow green when there is a good GPS signal. To engage the return home function, press and hold the return switch for 2 seconds until you hear a tone. The aircraft will automatically return to the remote controller position. If the GPS signal of the remote controller is poor, the power switch indicator on the remote controller will glow red and the Spry will return to the last recorded return point. When using the return home function, it may be necessary to take over control of the aircraft in some situations. For example, when the aircraft returns and the return altitude is lower than an obstacle or the ground is uneven when landing. Press and hold the return home switch again to cancel the function. Then operate both joysticks to regain manual control. When flying with a good GPS signal, if you need to exit the circle mode or ATTI flight mode, switch the flight mode to GPS to make the aircraft hover. To achieve the best flying and video quality, we recommend flying in calm conditions. Do not fly the Spry in wind conditions above 18 miles per hour or 28 kilometers per hour. During the flight, if the remote controller battery level becomes low, the remote controller will sound a tone. Please return the aircraft as soon as possible. When the Spry's battery reaches a low level, 10.9 volts, during flight, the status indicators of the aircraft flash red quickly and the remote controller will vibrate. If the display shows aircraft low battery, it's recommended to control the aircraft to return and land. If the aircraft voltage drops to 10.7 volts, the aircraft will begin to slowly and automatically land. If you continue to fly, the aircraft battery may be permanently damaged by over-discharge or the Spry may even crash. After flights in coastal environments or on water, it's important to carefully rinse the aircraft with fresh water as soon as possible. This prevents salt and grit from drying in the drone's moving parts and causing damage. All lithium batteries must be monitored during charging. Do not leave charging batteries unattended and do not charge warm batteries. To extend the life of your lithium batteries, always store them in a cool place and do not store them fully charged. It's best to partially discharge the batteries before storing them for extended periods. The 3S battery used by the aircraft should be stored at a voltage of 11.1 to 11.4 volts. The remote controller battery level is displayed in the upper right-hand side of the screen. Store the remote controller with the battery showing half full. When installing the Spry propellers, do not use too much force. The propeller nuts should only be tightened until the propellers cannot be turned on the motors. If you need to charge the Spry remote controller during use, always power on the remote controller before connecting the USB power lead. Thanks for watching. Welcome! This Swell Pro tutorial video demonstrates how to recalibrate the gyroscope of the GC3 gimbal camera. If the horizon of the camera alters after initially being level, the gyroscope requires calibration. Place the drone on a horizontal surface. Power on the remote controller, then the drone. Wait for 20 seconds until the camera and drone have completed their power-up sequence. Roll both of the gimbal control wheels, pan and tilt, to the far right and hold in this position for 6 seconds until the gimbal appears to lose power. After about 20 seconds, when the camera returns to normal, the calibration is complete. Power down the drone for at least 15 seconds and then repower the drone. Thanks for watching.